Yeah, so the Wolfenstein one, or the New Order, that was kind of like a statement from us. We were a new studio coming from Starbreeze mostly, and it was like a statement. This is who we are, the kinds of games we want to do, the way we want to tell stories, and this is how we think that Wolfenstein should be for the future. And that was like our foundation when we started working on this game. And we thought, okay, so we finally get to make a sequel. The Starbreeze guys have never had the chance to do a sequel of any of their games, not a proper sequel anyway. So this was our chance. We just looked at all the kind of core components of the game and the story and just tried to dial it up in quality and in intensity. I can give a few examples. Like we have 3 play styles. We have mayhem and tactical and stealth that you can always play throughout the game. You can focus on a play style if you want to, or you can just switch organically between them how you want to play. And we really try to make sure that these play styles are always available and always fun, and that every enemy is, can be beaten with either play style. And mayhem is just, I think, how most people view our game is, dual wielding, powerful weapons, automatic shotguns, and just rushing into combat scenario and just slaying the enemy, moving like a whirlwind through them. And then we have tactical, which is more about using covers, more directed fire, taking headshots, moving between positions, flanking the enemy. And then we have our stealth, which I think is different than the stealth of many other games, and it's not about avoiding the enemy. It's about trying to assassinate the enemy without you ever being seen, right? So it's not about avoiding danger. It's just finding ways not to be discovered while doing it. So that's a big part of what we have tried to push for, to make sure that you can always kind of play the way you want, hopefully. Another thing we have is we've had from day one of the project, we've had one team that's been completely devoted to like the first person experience. We call them Through the Gun team. And they're working on implementing the full body that we now have in the game, the BG's body, and just moving through the world, interacting with the world, being in the world, shooting in the weaponry, just feel as great as possible. So they worked non-stop on that throughout the entire project. You can now dual wield weapons with different combinations. So you can, for example, have the automatic shotgun in one hand and the battle rifle in the other one. So you're always just prepared for close encounters and more distance encounters. And my favorite there is the upgraded Laserkraftwerk, which can now melt armor plates of enemies.
Listen, Laserkraftwerk.
Laserkraftwerk. I say it in Swedish, and the Americans are really impressed because they think I pronounce it in German. But I can't fool you. So anyway, so the Laserkraftwerk is really cool this time around because we tried to simplify its use. In the New Order, it was really sweet where you could cut out shapes in metal, but that kind of gave us a problem with using it in combat, because it was really neat to be able to cut out shapes, but it's also too fiddly to actually use in combat. So we still use it a lot for progression or creating alternate routes, stuff like that. But now you can also just melt armor plates of, like the huge robot you met in the end of the demo. You can melt its armor plates with a Laserkraftwerk. Yeah. And just shoot. If you have a battle rifle in your other hand, you can shoot through the armor plates that you've now disintegrated. So that's really fun.
Okay.
Another thing we've done that I think is really neat is every now and then you return to the hub, and the hub of the game is a submarine the Resistance captured in the first Wolfenstein we made. Huge submarine. That's the hub. So you return there every now and then through the campaign. And when you get there, you can use what we call the war map, which is basically a map over America, where you can see the status of the different states, if they're occupied by the regime or if they're starting to be contested by the different resistance groups. So you can from that map, you can return to areas you've already been and hunt down what we call Uber commanders, which are the regime's top dogs. And by assassinating Uber commanders, you will be able to help the resistance groups in liberating parts of American territory through that map. And it's really cool because you can, if you want to return to an area, you can, and the time of day will be different, the combat will be different, there might be an area or two that's unlocked that wasn't available before. And for players who want to really complete the game, they can go back and find the collectibles and the resources they missed the first time they were there. That's really sweet.
Is it necessary to help those?
It's completely optional.
It's completely
so you have
optional.
the campaign.
So it's a kind of a meta game on top. So
It pretty much is. So you have the campaign, and in the campaign you return to the hub, the submarine. And it's completely optional if you want to take part in that part of the game, as some other things are. We have quite a few different activities and side missions in the hub that's completely optional.
Mm-hmm. Will you get rewarded for helping the like in more ammunition or something like that for the mission?
Or different endings?
Not different endings now. The ending is part of the campaign structure. But yeah, you will be rewarded somehow. But that's also part of like the mini story of that component of the game. Yeah.
So can we expect non-linear gameplay in the main missions, or is it just for the optional sub-missions?
It's not. It's only non-linear in the level structure we've built. So we always want you to have options in how you get through a level because of the 3 play styles. So you always have, not always, but you often have routes to sneak through, or you'll have the covers, or you have the bigger spaces to move through if you do the mayhem approach. So we don't really have a non-linear campaign, but there's quite a lot of non-linearity in the levels themselves. And then we still have the 2 timelines with White and Fergus, which has both story and gameplay consequences.
Cool.
Did you have fun with the game?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome.
Talking about the body I have now as DJ, I got stuck with that body.
The game's not finished yet.
Yeah. I just want to mention.
I saw a few physics bugs as well with the
Yeah.
bodies. Yeah, we have some work left to do.
And don't forget Peter and Peter. Peter and Peter.
Oh
The
yeah.
woman.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Did you recognize it?
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah.
First time she says Peter, and the second time she says Peter, right?
First time she says Peter, second time Peter, and third time Peter again.
Okay.
I might be completely wrong here, but what's going on there in Roswell is they're getting very close to changeover day. Changeover day is the day when everyone is going to start. It's mandatory that everyone switches from English to German. So they're all training, and you can see that I think she talks to her boy a little bit in German, and he says "danke" or something. I don't know. So maybe that's actually it. That
In our version, she always speaks German.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see how that works. I don't know how they write that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Max,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thanks.